Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the shop, and today is episode 26 of Learning Hand Tool Woodworking, and we are on exercise number 62, which is creating a dado joint. We're moving through and working our way through the Teacher's Handbook of Sloyd to learn all of our basic hand tool skills. So today's joint is the dado joint. All right, so we'll start by choosing where we're going to. Normally we'd do some kind of layout, but today we're just going to mark that and say I want my dado to be there. So we'll put a little nick with the knife. All right. Put the knife in the nick, bring the square up to it. All right. And okay, we're going across grain here, so we're going to have to do a couple of deeper scores. All right, next thing we want to do then is bring our vertical piece and present that to the wood, lining it up, being very careful to line it up right there. So now we're going to put a nick over on this side. Okay. All right, again, we're going to do knife in the nick, and then careful to keep that nice and square. Knife in the nick, present the square. It's very important with this one, probably more important than any other one we've done up to this point, is to have a nice, solid knife wall in there. We need to really have a clear knife wall. Let's see. This vise going to open up enough. It will not. All right. So let's take our hole down. Let's take the biggest chisel we've got on the bench. Normally we would want to do this with an even bigger chisel, but this is what I've got here on the bench. And as you've heard me say how many times, use what you've got. You're going to see in a minute here why this knife wall is so important. I actually could have scored it even deeper with the knife. To get an even cleaner knife wall. All right, we get the knife wall on that side. It's going to be a little bit tricksy, but it's all right. We'll manage. Come in and put the knife wall over on this side. Put that out. That out. Next thing we want to do is set our depth gauge, marking gauge, whatever you've got, to about the halfway point. Again, the measurement itself isn't as important as going against your reference side and being the same on both. Let's just darken that up a little bit so we can see it. All right, now, again, I'm going to, for the sake of honesty here, let you know that while I have cut many dados in my woodworking career or my woodworking hobby, I have never cut a dado like this. So this is an opportunity to learn something new. And what we're going to do, take the crosscut saw, put it in the knife wall, and holding it as vertical as you possibly can. Keep it nice and square. Long strokes. Let the saw do the work. Get down to that depth line. Look over here on this side. We're down over there. Oh, not even close over here. So got to spend a little time kind of evening this out a little bit. Light strokes. Let the saw do the work. Okay. And make sure that we're middle down. Okay. Same thing over on this side. Keep it as square to that knife wall as you can. Vertical cuts. Light touch on the saw. Almost there. And almost there. And there we go. All right, I'm going to pause the video for a second. Got to go grab something real quick. Be right back. I think having 2 points of contact is definitely going to help here. So this board is about a 1/2 inch, so you want a chisel that's a little bit smaller. Looks like I'm probably a little oversized there. So this 1/2 inch chisel is just a fraction. Maybe still maybe too wide. Tell you what, let's switch to a 3/8" chisel. And do a little bit of a mallet tap there. Lower the handle. Go up, because you want to make sure you don't blow out this side, because okay, now that we've got that, we can come in here and just chisel out the waste. Make sure you're not digging too deep. Okay, at this point, the book actually recommends switching to the Old Woman's Tooth Plane. Don't blame me for the name. That's what they call it in the book. And if you don't like that name, you got to hear what they call it in England. So we call it the router plane. But I'm assuming that if you're watching these videos, that you don't have a router plane because you're a brand new woodworker. So if you're just starting out, and again, how many times have you heard me say this? Use what you have. And what most of you are going to have is a set of chisels. If you don't have chisels, you really need chisels. You've got to have chisels in order to do this. But you can just take your chisel and clean this up. Again, keep your chisel as, you know, resting on the back as much as you can. And you're going to have to work from both sides if you're doing this with the chisel. First one side, then the other. Around. Come in here. Stop playing around with that. Let's just come in here with the dog. Okay. Sure you always keep wood between you and the chisel. Okay, that doesn't look like we had a deep enough cut there. Use that. There we go. That comes right out now. Check your depth. We're down to our cut line on that side. We're down to our cut line on that side. And now this is where we should be able to get it back in the vise. And sight straight down and get it as clean as we can. There we go. All right. Let's see how we did. So we take our pieces. I did relieve the edge just slightly to make it go in. And we have got a the chisel just hit the ground, but it hit handle first. That's a scary feeling after you have just recently got your chisel tuned up. Got to make sure this shoulder is nice and crisp. It's looking good. There's actually a little bit of a bow in the wood. The lines are straight, but the wood is bowed just a little bit. See, it goes in on that end. Goes in on that end. So we're going to have to chisel out these grooves just a little bit more. Close, but not quite. All right, now that fits there. That fits on that end. Not quite fitting in the middle. Let's see if we can help persuade it just a little bit. All right. A little bit more persuasion than I would have liked to have given it, but it does fit nice and tight. Right here where I had to clean up this because the wood is bowed or warped just a little bit. Left that a little bit open, but we got tight fits here, tight fits there. Really tight over on this side. So again, first hand cut dado ever. All right, friends. Episode 26, Learning Hand Tool Woodworking. Take care. God bless.